Hi everyone and welcome to the Energy 2 stream. I'm from Team Raid 0 and I will be your host on this stream for the next 6 hours. We're happy here to have Team 7539 present for us today. Team 7539 Elevate won the Rookie All-Star Award at the World Championships at Detroit in 2019, and today they will be talking about how she empowers STEM. Now you have the floor, 539.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are streaming in from the world. Team Elevate, like our introducer did say, is a 3-year FRC team from Mumbai, India, and the recipient of the Rookie All-Star Award at the World Championships in Detroit. I hope you can see the presentation, right? She empowers STEM, something that we're going to be talking about today. We are the 3rd FRC team from India and are committed to spreading the values of FIRST. My name is Raghav Agrawal, and I have been in this team since its inception, and I'm currently in my junior year of high school. Our story is about a team that was co-founded by a girl who was the sole member of a 25-member community team. She started her team at the Dhirubhai Ambani International School in the hopes of sparking interest in girls. She was a role model for girls to join Team Elevate. Some of my closest friends were inspired by her and signed up because they believed they can do well in the field of STEM. From that point, we have taken small steps towards our cause. Girls from our team participated in the first global challenge. We were able to set up 2 all-girl FEC teams in the first 2 months of the new season and actually spark an interest for STEM amongst girls in the under-resourced community. With our time today, we would like to talk to you about our outreach model, why we focus on girls, the reasons for a lack of girls in STEM in India, first girls in India, and how girls are important to STEM. In the end, we would like to show you some of the initiatives that we have taken under the She Empowers STEM program. So in our outreach model, we basically have 3 pillars: sustainability, inclusion, and impact. Today, we will introduce you to our inclusion project. As a part of this, we have done extensive work with differently abled children, the under-resourced community, non-governmental organizations, and girls in STEM. Our main focus has been to empower girls. So today, we'll be giving you an insight into our flagship program, She Empowers STEM, that is designed to introduce girls to STEM. But before that, why are girls our focus? Indian society is evolving. It's far more liberal than before, and new ideas are being adopted amongst the general demographic. However, a vast majority of the population is still conservative and orthodox and believes in traditional gender roles and settings. The hurdles that girls must cross are invisible as they are deeply embedded in society, which make it all the more difficult for them to reach parity with boys. To give you a little context on traditional beliefs, the male child is considered to be the only earner in the family and carry on the family name, while a girl child is considered a liability and her only expectation is to be married to a successful man. Recently, we spoke to girls from the under-resourced societies with the organization Spark for Change. A key point that they brought up was that boys in their school are encouraged to take on extracurricular activities, while girls are even not allowed to stay back in school after school hours. In this time when everything is online, boys are given preferences when it comes to laptops, cell phones, and tablets. Girls can't attend school most of the time. Families prohibit girls from taking on any extra projects outside of the mandatory curriculum as they are required to help around the house. Here is a small video from an outreach event we conducted that depicts exactly what I have been talking about.
आप कौन से क्लास में हैं? 9th में हैं। प्रोग्रामिंग किया है कभी?
नहीं।
आपने कभी मैथ और साइंस में कुछ किया है अपने स्कूल में या स्कूल से बाहर?
नहीं, स्कूल से बाहर नहीं।
आपके पास अभी जो घर पे सब बैठे हैं तो आपके पास लैपटॉप है कि मोबाइल है? कैसे पढ़ाई होती है ऑनलाइन? मोबाइल होती है। अगर 2-3 बच्चों का क्लास साथ में हो गया तो फिर कैसे मोबाइल यूज करते हैं आप लोग?
दीदी किसी एक का क्लास मिस हो जाता है।
So in this short video, you may have understood some of that conversation, but let me explain to you what they are saying. Essentially, they said that they have not been exposed to STEM learning, practical math and science, or any kind of programming at grade 9. Furthermore, we asked them how they are continuing to study, in this period of social distancing, and whether they have access to technology. Their answer really shocked us. They said that they have one mobile amongst the four of them, a ratio not seen with the boys. When we asked them how they managed to learn at all, they said, "Kisi ka class miss ho jata hai." This means that they will have to miss their classes due to lack of technology given to girls. Girls are denied education, a fundamental right awarded to all Indians, and are made to stay at home and do the housework. In 2019, about 16% of girls in India under the age of 16 were made to stay home, as per the annual status of education report released by the government every year. This is the sad truth. This is the sad truth for many thousands of girls across the country. We connected with several prominent NGOs, including Teach for India and Universe Simplified, and asked them about their experiences in such cases. They too said that many girls are made to stay home and help in the housework. They're not even allowed to go to school. Furthermore, the gender pay gap, not only in India, but around the world, is troubling. On average, women get paid 25 to 30% less than their male counterparts. I'm sorry, can the presentation be seen?
Yeah, I can. You're on your first slide.
Oh, because I'm sorry, there was just some, can I unshare and share again?
Sure.
Sorry again for the difficulties. So, right. I'll just pick it up from there. So furthermore, the gender pay gap, not only in India, but around the world, is troubling. On average, women get paid 25 to 30% less than their male counterparts for doing the same work. And this gap is greater in STEM fields. Girls are immediately demotivated and hence don't pursue careers in this field. Witnessing the reality of the situation shook every member of Elevate's inclusion project to their core. And this is why we put empowerment of women at the forefront. Gender stereotypes must be changed, and it is imperative that we bring about the change we wish to see in the world. Now, let's move on to the reason why there are fewer girls in STEM in India. Apart from a lack of opportunities, there are a multitude of reasons why there are fewer girls in STEM. Only after great societal transitions in the last decade have women got an opportunity to pursue careers. Before, women's primary job was that of a homemaker and were in charge of running a household and raising her children. For example, my own mother, a teacher that has been working with differently abled children for the most of her career, got off to a shaky start. She was forced to leave her final exams in the middle to get married. The main reasons? Societal pressure and the Indian mentality. In traditional households in India, girls are directly stopped from pursuing a career in STEM. People don't think they should waste their time by adopting a STEM path. STEM is a non-traditional route of education and is thus looked down upon. The post-high school situation in India is inflexible as well, and benefits of STEM learning are not taken seriously. Not only pressure from one's family, but girls have to constantly deal with what other people might think. The line "log kya kahenge" is infamous and characterizes societal pressure in India. As you can see on the slide in Devanagari script, this line has been used around me as well. My own sister was dissuaded from pursuing STEM science in high school by people who were unaware of its benefits. They only intervened because "log kya kahenge." What will other people think? It supports a herd mentality and stops people, especially girls, to think individually. Mentors we spoke to emphasized on the word mentality and told us that their interaction with parents who adopted a very quote unquote specific mentality were not likely to budge from their decisions. Next, we can look at the post-education scenario that girls face. Even though they may be skilled and set for a STEM career, they feel discouraged to do so as they feel they will be prejudiced against. A study conducted by the Government of India's Ministry of Women and Child Development shows us that 55% of women graduates of a top college that took science as their major are considering not to take a career in STEM. This is because they have been made to believe over the years that they may be less competent than men in this field. This also affects their motivation and they may lose interest in STEM forever. A great loss to this industry. As you can see, Indian society greatly shapes the minds of these girls forever. It has cost them a chance to make a big impact on the country. Stereotypes and unconscious bias undermine real choice. Effectively, they are being kept out by the cultural straitjackets imposed on them by society. So, the idealistic solution to these problems would be to change the way people think, right? Again, extremely, extremely idealistic. It's sad to even think that there is nothing we can do to convince the general public that STEM learning should be supported for it provides a wholesome development of a person. But there is a more practical solution. It involves reaching out to a more crucial audience, the average girl. Women shouldn't have to downplay their gender to excel. And so, by starting them off on the right track at an early age, we can make girls feel confident about themselves. And this can go a long way in motivating them to pursue their dreams. Now, another point to note is how girls help STEM. Today, I just wanted to discuss some of the salient features of this specific point. It's often said that when you educate a girl, you empower a family. When you educate a girl, you educate the future. It is known that girls and women represent untapped talent. When girls are not involved in STEM, solutions and innovations miss the perspectives of girls and hence are not always ideal and effective. STEM jobs are building the future and are helping tackle some of the world's greatest challenges. So, increased participation in this sphere can help with a better approach to these problems. In the world, women only hold about 10 to 25% of the jobs in STEM related fields, even though having more women involved offers so much to the world. If half the population is not contributing to the best ideas, are they technically the best ideas? There's no excuse for excluding half the population and losing possible change makers and innovators. Now, I would like to talk to you about first girls in India and some trends that we have observed in our sustainability and inclusion project. Since the beginning of the new season, Team Elevate in its sustainability campaigns has helped prominent high schools in Mumbai set up first teams. We have seen an overwhelming response for the same, but were disappointed with the lack of girls that attended these introductory sessions. A trend has been noticed. In the initial stages of this process, girls are extremely enthusiastic about participating. However, once they find that the number of boys is far more than the number of girls, they are intimidated and slowly begin to back out. To give you an example, we found ourselves in a situation where an FRC team had 25 boys and not a single girl. This was a real eye-opener for us as we did not think this problem would arise in an international school in a metropolitan city. We were shocked to see this happen again at another school, hoping to start an FTC team. Even in events like design workshops, kickoffs, and actual competitions, we have seen few girls. We are aware of this problem in the under-resourced community. As you saw in the video before, they are not exposed to STEM math or science or other practical aspects of learning. However, seeing this in two schools with girls from the economically better background not being represented in STEM made us realize that we would have to work even harder to get more girls involved in STEM. It was back to the drawing board for us. We had to spread awareness about the benefits of STEM and tackle any misconceptions that girls may have about this field. So I started off with the introduction of Team Elevate, but I'd like to emphasize on some of the salient points that make Team Elevate's STEM, She Empowers STEM program so unique as compared to other initiatives. 3 years ago, there was one girl who recognized the problems revolving around girls in STEM in India. Team Elevate is the product of her taking her ideas to the drawing board and finding a solution. Ever since, Team Elevate's objectives has been to spread first in India and elevate girls to excel in STEM fields. To tackle many of the problems we spoke about before, we launched the initiative She Empowers STEM as part of our inclusion project. This initiative is designed to make STEM learning accessible to all. Our outreach philosophy actually stems from the phrase, it's not a matter of ability, but exposure. Essentially, we believe that by exposing girls to FIRST programs at a young age, we can build their confidence and get them actively involved in their development. We decided our exposure to FRC and the change we've seen in ourselves can be used to make an impact on girls from different backgrounds. To this end, we have hosted numerous FLL kickoffs, creative design workshops, and awareness sessions to spark creativity in these young minds. Is the presentation moving along so far on the stream as well?
Yep, it's working well.
Okay, thank you. So holding FLL kickoffs in different states allowed us to reach a larger audience, and we were able to aid students finding their passions through these events. These events helped us generate a sustainable model for students. They kept coming back for more. We saw as students progressed through FLL and FTC to finally join our team. Here is a short clip from Arna Sanghai, a member of Team Elevate, who actually began her journey of robotics with FLL.
It's hard to believe that it was just 2 years ago that I had a sort of phobia of robotics. Math and sciences were my two favorite subjects, but I could never imagine myself pursuing them for life. Stereotypes and social norms had always made me rethink pursuing STEM. But constant coaxing and nagging by my mom, which she so often does, made me have my first brush with robotics. I participated in an FLL kickoff, and for me, the connection was instant. I realized the power of science and technology to make a difference in our world. It was then that I realized that STEM is not for boys, and it's not only for girls, but it's for anyone and everyone who enjoys it. I vividly remember, almost as if it was just yesterday, being a shy girl who hid at the back when called upon to speak on stage at the FLL competition. Little did I know that competition would transform my career prospects and would open doors to options I never expected myself to explore. My journey from FLL to FTC to FRC has been a transformative one. With every step, my confidence has amplified and my belief in myself has soared. From being that shy girl to becoming a confident individual who could address all the participants at the first Tech Challenge earlier this year, I have come so far. Today I would say that FIRST and STEM have shaped me. They've helped me understand that I can't let my life be dictated by the fact that I'm a girl.
So as you can see, such strong words from a member of our FRC team who actually, progressed through FLL to FTC to FRC. So this is the first initiative that we have taken, and it's the first part of our outreach model when it comes to inclusion. So as we saw the number of girls increase steadily, we also saw that most of them pursue the marketing, fundraising, and outreach aspects of the team, even though all of them wanted to learn technical skills. They didn't have any role models to inspire them. The lack of role models in this field can contribute to its decline. To give students the boost that they required, we got girls from our team to participate in the first global challenge to represent India. Here with me today is Ayushi Nenan, a member of the 5-member FTC team, sharing her experiences in working with STEM.
Hi, I'm Ayushi and I'm part of the construction team in Team Elevate. Last year, I participated in this competition called the First Global Challenge. And in this competition, every country sends one team to represent them. So the 5 of us were part of Team India 2019, and we were the first all-girls team to represent our country. So when I decided to be a part of this team, I wasn't sure of how I'll be able to build the robot, come up with good mechanisms, and I wasn't sure of how to do any of this. And I was a bit scared, to be honest. But then eventually things changed, and like using tools like the drill or the miter saw the first time was actually a pretty daunting experience. But like the more I used it, the better I got at it. And throughout my journey in FGC, I just transformed into a completely different person that I was. I wasn't shy and nervous anymore. I was actually confident and I was a better team player. So, watching the robot over the course of a few months, I learned various skills like technical skills as well as non technical skills. And watching the robot that we constructed from scratch for the first time, climb and hang, it was a completely thrilling experience. And I was filled with pride. And one thing that I realized from this entire experience was that I could do anything that I wanted to. And I've always had a sort of preconception in my mind that, okay, robotics means it's hard. Everybody can't do it. But it's really not like that. It's for anybody. Anybody who just wants to do it can do it. Being in an all girls team, we understood the importance of role models because our team itself was started by a girl. And all of us wanted to be role models for other girls in our community. So we actually raised funds to give this opportunity to other girls in our community. So for example, we raised funds and we sponsored a kit of parts for a team of girls in a small village in the interiors of India for an FLL competition. And they actually went on to win the championship award and represent India at the Detroit World Championship. I also got the opportunity to interact with these girls at the competition, and hearing their stories and how happy they were to be a part of this was a really nice experience. Simple things like just being able to come to the city from the village and using such fancy tools that they may not have been able to otherwise was a really good experience. We didn't want to just stop at India. We wanted girls across the world to have this opportunity. So we created a Facebook page where we invited girls from over in 80 countries to be a part of the page. And it was a really it was a good platform because we could discuss, problem solve, and we built memories for a lifetime. At the competition, we organized an event which Dean came and attended, and hearing everybody's stories of how everything was challenging at first and how they overcame those challenges made me realize that all of us had something in common. We weren't sure of our capabilities. We were unsure whether we'd be able to achieve whatever we wanted to achieve. But the hands on experience that first provides completely changed that. I'd like to end by just saying that from not being actively involved in the technical aspects and focusing on outreach to being able to construct a robot by myself, I've seen the transformation in me, and I want other girls to see the same transformation in them, in themselves. So I'm part of the team, but my main objective is to get more girls involved. And when I first started off with FGC, I didn't know much about the technical stuff, but I learned it. And I learned how to use CAD softwares like SolidWorks and Fusion 360. And now I'm actually one of the mentors and teachers for a robotics deconstructed program that we started in school.
So as Ayushi rightly said, we started the robotics deconstructed program to teach essential technical skills to girls who wanted to learn. So I have here with me a small clipping which highlights the achievements of the robotics deconstructed program that we ran in our school and in many other schools. So that was just another snippet of the robotics deconstructed program that we ran in our school. So we conducted awareness events with girls from grades 7 to 10 in our school, where we spoke to them about STEM learning. We cleared doubts and misconceptions and made them feel confident about them choosing technical aspects. The girls who had participated in the FGC team posed as role models for these other girls, and we were actually seeing great results by having them with us. So here I have a small snippet from one of the webinars that we had conducted. These are with girls from grade 7 of our school. And we spoke to them about the various kinds of misconceptions that they may have heard about STEM learning, FRC, FTC, and FIRST competitions. So we actually had to have interactive sessions with them so that we could address any kind of doubts that was, because it is important to make sure that they are aware. So and additionally, we try to conduct these sessions to commemorate international events like Women's Day and Women in Engineering Day. We saw positive results in the form of an increased number of girl participants in this program. In addition to this, we hosted weekly STEM and FLL workshops for girls at our school, which made them ready to jump into FIRST competitions. Over the course of 6 weeks, students developed a passion for STEM, and this passion has driven them to form an all-girls FTC team that is ready to be registered. So I actually was able to get some of the girls who are going to be part of this all-girls FTC team to record some of their thoughts about having these kind of presentations and how that's actually helped them.
I'm excited for the program because it's going to be teamwork in a completely different way. I'm going to get to explore so many skills that I have. I'm going to learn new skills. The presentation helped me realize that, FTC is more than just robots. You have design, you have commitment, you have time management, and also you have fundraising. And, as a team, you can do any, and it'll help me learn that I have to pitch in.
I'm extremely excited to be part of FTC. I wanted to learn real world skills, which I think can be achieved by being part of this program. I'm enthusiastic to learn teamwork, collaboration, and time management, which will be good for the future. The inclusion presentation presented by Team Elevate was really helpful and made me understand the importance of STEM and how I can contribute. I'm thrilled and delighted to be part of this program.
Yeah. So we actually, as you saw in this video and the picture that I showed you about one of the webinar events that we held, we use this model in other schools as well. And with our focus initiative to start girls teams, we are happy to share that at least one school is transitioning from a no-girl FRC team to not only having girls represented in the team, but going one step ahead and forming an all-girls FTC team to complement the one that we have already created in our school. Well, with our efforts towards helping the community, it is essential that we practice what we preach, and that means elevating our own team. Through targeted presentations, we were able to reach a whole new audience when it came to seasonal admissions. In 2019, 20% of Elevate's members were girls. But in 2020, that number has grown to almost 35%. And I promise you, this percentage will just keep increasing with time. A thing to note is these changes are not exponential. They are almost always linear changes that occur with time. When young girls have someone to look up to, someone they can see working, someone they can associate themselves with, they are more passionate to join. And we aspire to set an example for those young girls. Using this model, we can promise that these numbers will keep increasing. Soon we realized that to take our She Empowers STEM initiative to a whole new level, we had to target a much, much larger audience. We recognize the need to spread this movement across the country. It is our mission for every girl child in India to experience the magic of STEM. Towards that, we approached Niti Aayog, the Government of India's skill building initiative. We are collaborating with them to take our outreach to the 5,441 Atal Tinkering Labs or STEM labs that are set up across the country associated with schools to promote hands-on learning. We had an extremely fruitful and insightful discussion with the Niti Aayog CEO, Mr. Amitabh Kant in his office, the Vice Chairman and MD on how to take first to the Niti Aayog schools of India. This opportunity will pave the path to the girls in STEM revolution in India, as it has allowed us to reach out to girls across the country and transform the mindset one girl at a time. Yes, we are coding the future, and it is female. Thank you. This is our presentation about She Empowers STEM, an initiative that we have taken. And yes.
Thank you, Raghav, for that excellent presentation and cool videos. Your passion to empower girls in STEM is truly inspiring, and we all hope to join that effort. Now we have some questions for you. So first, what would be the first step for shy girls who are interested in STEM to be more involved in STEM?
So Ayushi, I think you can take this because you can relate to this.
Wait, what? Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Oh, do you need me to repeat my question?
Yeah.
Sure. What would be the first step for shy girls who are interested in STEM to be more involved in STEM?
Okay, so the first thing that I feel is that it's okay if you're shy. There's nothing wrong. And what the beauty about this competition is that it teaches you to get over that. So I was an extremely shy person myself, but FRC is not just about robotics. It's not just constructing. It's so much more. Like I would have never imagined 1 year ago, I could never imagine myself presenting in front of people I haven't ever interacted with before. But what this does is it gives you the opportunity to do that. So as part of my team, we've gone for fundraising meetings, sponsorship, and just presenting to people in general is what has helped build my confidence. And I think it's okay if you're not perfectly great at it in your first time. You need practice, and if you don't try it the first time itself, there's no way you're going to ever get over it. So the only thing that you can do is not be afraid that if it doesn't turn out well, it's completely all right. And I think that's the only thing you can do.
Ayushi is
Thank
exactly
you.
right when she says that this is a sphere for us to learn. So I think first competitions and the entire atmosphere is conducive to growth, and that is personal growth. Like I myself was shy in the first 3 months of working with my seniors, as I was actually a freshman in high school when I joined Team Elevate. And I think just by talking to them, going for sponsorship presentations, like Ayushi said, it really expands. So I know this is for shy girls, but this was my story as well.
I can certainly relate to that as well. Thank you
Oh,
for your
right, yeah.
response. And next, how would you prevent girls from being discouraged in STEM because of the number of male participants in it?
Right. So actually, so like I said in the presentation, we did have a school, for an example, to give it a little more clearly, we did have a school where there were, initial girls that wanted to participate in this event. But after creating a group and before the introductory session, they just saw the number of boys and they dropped out. So for this, we actually, like what I can tell you what Elevate is doing is doing these awareness initiatives, webinars with girls specifically. And because there is the biggest problem is the lack of awareness that they may have or any kind of misconceptions. So that's how we can go forward with this. Ayushi, you want to add?
No, I think you've covered everything.
Okay. So other than these webinars and other projects with the government, how does your team Elevate plan to further empower girls in the future in STEM?
So I know we're not like this is apart from working with the government, but this Niti Aayog initiative is actually huge for reaching out to girls all over the country. But otherwise, empowering girls in STEM in India. So we saw that many of them they feel like they're prejudiced against in this field. They like when I was talking about the lack of girls in STEM in India, they feel like they might be less competent than men. They are made to believe that by societal pressure. So by I honestly believe that the first step for empowering girls across the country, apart from these initiatives that we're taking, is just getting them aware that they can do it. Their gender shouldn't stop them from taking, their gender shouldn't stop them from being part of these initiatives, from being part of STEM learning or this field. And that's why awareness is extremely important.
And I'd just like to add something to that. So they need to have role models, like they need to have somebody to look up to so that they feel that they can do the same thing. Like I had a role model and I knew that if she can do it, even I can do it. And that's essentially what we're trying to do as a team. We're trying to get them to see that if we can do it, even they can do it. There's nothing wrong and everybody can do it.
Yeah, that's very comforting. So that's all the questions that we have. So thank you so
Oh,
much for your time.
okay.
That was really cool and inspiring what you showed us. But unfortunately, we have to finish up now.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.